Welcome to Graham Games. My name is Graham. This is not a game. This is just an update, I guess. I set myself a very ambitious recording schedule for this week. I have just a whole huge pile of new indie games that have been coming out in combination with things that I'm involved in. Tower of Kilimanvo, Wizard Chess, Play Rough. Like, I'm trying to mix that in a little bit more organically and things. And so I had a lot planned for things coming up. Fear and Hunger fans, I apologize for the wait. It's very hard to make time to record that series in very large batches. I've apologized for that many times before. I will hopefully be getting back to that very, very soon. It is not forgotten. I still love that game. It's just a challenge to record. But I'm feeling quite under the weather. A little bit. It's nothing crazy, but it's enough that turning on the camera to record like hours of games is not something I feel very up to. But I feel bad for these indie devs who have games coming out in a matter of days, and I was really excited to share them. And so really quickly, I still plan to cover these games in separate videos, but I want to make people aware of them. Wandering Sword, this one's been in my inbox for like a couple weeks at this point. Look at that art style. That is absolutely phenomenal. It looks so incredible. Just like a straight up RPG with martial arts. It looks so good, and it's been very well received overall, so I'm very excited for that one. Beneath Oresa, I've been very closely paying attention to what Goblins Publishing is doing these days, because they're putting out just like banger after banger. The reception pretty good so far, but like I think it's understandable when you realize like it's quite a niche game. They're making like a turn-based fighter, like a 1v1 fighting game with like deck building stuff, which it'll be interesting because like when you play Slay the Spire, you kind of are doing like a 1v1 fighting game, but not like this. This is very much more meant to be like you're playing Mortal Kombat or something, but it's a deck builder. So I think that looks really interesting. Station to Station. This one, now we're talking about games that are coming out. This is coming out tomorrow. This has gone viral like 20 times over. It's this nice, simple, warm, cozy voxel art style game where you get to be a conductor and you just get to build your railway, and it just looks so pleasant and looks like the sort of thing you could sink just 1,000 hours into. I'm very excited for that one. It's also a part of the Gaming Live Indie Festival, which is running right now. You can click that banner, check that out. There's something like 60 games being featured in that, so that might be worth checking out. The day after, Heads Will Roll Reforged. This is a RPG non-linear story, a little bit visual novel, but it's got like branching stories and things, so it's considered quite replayable. It's got that going for it. I really like this sort of art bash style. It reminds me of like Con Artist Games, the stuff he was making back for Armor, The Last Stand, what Crush the Castle, those sorts of games. It reminds me of that on some level. But this is like an existing series. Heads Will Roll came out a few years ago. You can see it's the same idea, a little rougher around the edges, not quite as uniform feeling of an art style. Cool concept. They then, I believe this is like a straight up sequel, and then this is a remake of the original, but it looks really, really well done. I'm very excited to see how that actually comes together and how it actually plays. So I'm quite excited for that one. Dot Age or Dotage. This one has been announced so long ago. I feel like I've been seeing this one in my Twitter feed for like years at this point, and it's finally coming out. It is a turn-based city builder survival management thing going on where, you know, gods are coming in and throwing meteors at your town, and the different seasonality of it, and you got to manage all your people. And this has been in the works a long time and has had a really popular public demo that the developer has used to improve the game repeatedly. So like it should be a very polished final product that's coming out. So that one should be really exciting. Knight vs. Giant, I only just heard of quite recently. I don't know a ton about it. Action roguelike with like a King Arthur setting. It just looks like pretty polished and quite fun. And it's not like a Vampire Survivors thing. I think it's more of like a straight action combat, not like that more passive style. And then the day after that, we're getting towards the end of the week there. What's that? The Friday, we have Star Sign. And I just heard of this one, reached out to the developer, basically said, that looks cool. And they said, here, have a key. And so you basically have to see this one in action, I think, to really appreciate it. You have this like slingshot, web slinging action thing going on, swinging your way through these insane, massive worlds. And that just looks like a really fun sandbox to play around with. You can use it to create like a slingshot and stuff. And not the typical thing I play, but I thought it just looked really fun and that I could give that a nice try and just like, God, doesn't that look like just super fun to zip around in? So these are all games I'm hoping to play, and I'm hoping to play quite soon. But I've been talking for 5 minutes and my throat feels like it's about to close shut. So it's not happening immediately. My apologies that I disappear for the next little while. I'm going to go drink tons of water. I'm going to sleep, and I'll see you guys all again soon.